Well, guys, the time has finally come. You probably noticed there's no intro today. There's no funny, silly, goofy intro because today's episode is going to be a little bit more serious. So, if you're sensitive to what we're about to discuss, I don't know. Just watch at your own risk. It's going to get pretty disturbing. We have some actual solid proof of grooming and just strange behavior towards these younger people. And we got screenshots, we got videos, we got proof. So stick around and we're going to be going over that shortly. So how this actually got brought to my attention was somebody actually saw the video that knows Barracks in, I don't want to say in person, but online, right? They had contact with each other. And at the time, they were around 16 to 17, and Barracks was, I think, 20, 21, 20, which you can see the age difference there. So we're going to be going over that today. And yeah, I mean, probably don't eat anything today because it's going to get pretty gross, but let's go. Let's do this. So this all started from my second video I posted about Barracks, which got a lot of traction. I'm very thankful for it, but getting a lot of traction and a lot of attention, naturally, people saw it. People are going to see the video, and maybe they're going to recognize Barracks, or Seth, which is his real name, recognize Seth from just TikTok Live, or maybe they know him personally. And I got a comment from someone on that video saying that they knew Seth personally and that they had groomed them when they were younger. Which, guys, can we really be surprised here? Barracks is a weirdo. He exposes himself online. He has low impulse control. He's known to make poor decisions. And he's a, quote, sex demon. Which, in my eyes, he's just a sexual deviant, and he's trying to turn it into some fantasy world like he usually does with everything else, which is just disgusting. He posts disgusting videos all over his Twitter, just nude photos of him and videos of him doing various sex acts, and it's all disturbing. It's very disturbing whenever it's put into this perspective that you're a, quote, sex demon, yet you're going after people younger than you, teenagers. And he would act so sexual and deviantly to just anybody that would really pay attention to him, including people that would join his live or decoy accounts that I had set up to kind of see what was going on in his head and what he was thinking behind the scenes of some of the actions that he was doing. And even after he decided to expose himself on live stream, I messaged him saying, hey, I saw what happened. Like, do you have anything to say for yourself? And he was unremorseful. He did not care. It was the least of his worries. So he has no empathy, and he just doesn't care about these actions, which is what we would expect from somebody calling themselves a sex demon. So this specific viewer gave me permission to talk about it and say their name and share their story. So I'm just going to be calling them Neon. Neon, if you're watching this, hello. Thank you for allowing me to talk about this, and hopefully we can spread awareness, and anybody in the background talking to him, or maybe somebody that's just unaware of what he's done, hopefully they can distance themselves from him and stop communicating with him. Well, like I said, Barracks had been grooming Neon since Neon was around 16 or 17, and it stopped some odd years later, once Barracks had too many explosive outbursts, because we know he's very prone to just being angry and rageful. And unfortunately, Neon was a victim of that. We've seen him crash out on live. We've seen him scream on live. So just imagine if you're acting like that in public for people to see on the internet. What are you doing behind closed doors? How are you treating those people behind closed doors? It's really disturbing, but I'm glad Neon is out of that situation, so let's just read some of the DMs. Okay, I lied. These are actually the comments, but still. Let's read these off for you guys. I knew the dude. He was so fucking crazy. Groomed me when I was only 16. Not all furries are like this, I can promise you. We don't like these kinds of people. I was a victim of his shit. He is also a pedophile. If you want more context about him, I can happily tell you my experience. And after that comment that I received, we exchanged some information back and forth, and we began to talk about Barracks or Seth and what he's been up to. So here's a little bit of our DMs behind the scenes talking about the situation. I'm still friends with his ex that left him, and then I reply with what's his name to see if Neon actually knew Barracks and knew some of the people around him in his inner circle. So we go back and forth for a little bit, and he's trying to jog his memory, and I don't blame him for not knowing his pup name, since it's probably changed a lot since the, 5 years ago, and I seem a little skeptical in these DMs, which obviously I feel like if somebody's throwing around heavy accusations like this, even if it's Barracks, even if it's, the weirdest guy on the planet, I still want to have some factual proof and not just throw out false claims. So I'm trying to gauge the situation and see how much he knows, or see if it sounds believable. And knowing Barracks, anything could be possible, but some of these other DMs are just really going to cement it, and I have some actual solid proof as to the situation. So, Neon states in these DMs, but I do have an old TikTok of a thank you for Barracks before I knew he was crazy. Well, pretty sure he brainwashed me. I'll be looking to see if I can find anything. So, I replied that I'd love if he could send me that TikTok, and I apologize for the situation that he had to go through with Barracks, as he was a teenager. And I don't want to seem arrogant, but once I saw the comments on my original video about him getting groomed, I went on his live stream shortly after, and people were watching, and his friends were watching, and to be fair, it was kind of funny. I did get his ass, but that's not important. He didn't see this coming. He thought that was the only thing that was going to happen, a little call out on his TikTok live, but he's not seeing this video coming. If he thought that was bad, like I said, just wait until this video drops. I hope he sees this, and I hope that he knows that he's fucking done. But I do apologize once again for being a bit arrogant. I let my emotions take over a little bit, and I went on to Barracks' live stream just to let him know that I knew, and let all his friends know, and everybody in the live know that I know what you did. I know what you were up to. I know what you did to Neon, and I went in there and I said, I heard that you groomed this kid. I heard that you groomed Neon. Like, what the fuck is your issue? What's your problem? And things got pretty heated from there. We're going to be showing that video later, but I don't want it to seem like I'm romanticizing that. This video is going to be awesome in the sense that he's going to get what's coming to him, okay? I apologize, but he's going to get what's fucking coming to him. And the censored text at the bottom is just my email, to which he sent the TikTok. Like I said, we're going to watch that shortly. But the brainwashing statement, I honestly believe, I wouldn't call it brainwashing, but it's grooming. He was a young, impressionable teen, and Barracks took advantage of that and molded him and groomed him into thinking it was okay what Barracks was doing, trying to make Neon feel like it was acceptable. Which, you guys don't need me to tell you, that's not the case at all. That's not acceptable, and it never will be. So, we got more text here from Neon saying that, quote, he told me to off myself. I'm trying to find that voice recording, and he expresses his excitement in finally being able to have a voice and being able to speak out against this stuff, which is good. I like that, and I'm doing this for Neon. I feel like he should have his story out there, and that's exactly what's happening. Originally, I planned on this video coming out way sooner, but I had so much content and a lot of clips on my hands that I didn't really know what to do with. So, yeah, that's how we ended up here. We ended up with a late video, and you see me mention a person in this text here, and in the other person that I mention in the comments, a commenter giving their personal testimony to knowing Barracks, and it seems pretty accurate from what we know about Barracks and how he acts in general, so let's read this. I used to know him. Horrible person, absolutely creepy AF. He wanted me to be his master, and oh, he was also known to look at furry porn in the public library. I can guarantee that any and all queer communities aren't going to claim this thing. Which is a statement expressed by all of you guys. I see all the comments that we do not claim this guy, we do not claim this guy, and I agree with that sentiment. I don't think he belongs anywhere, even in his own communities. In the pup play, in the furry scene, he's also an outcast, and this is the exact behavior for why he's being outcasted. So here we have the actual text from Neon Wolf saying, okay, so I'm gonna tell you all that I can remember. I was around 16 to 17 when I met Barracks on Facebook. First impression was alright. Talked about cybergoth, dubstep, shit, just some regular ass shit. We were on call and he started asking him about my kinks. Like, what? I didn't respond, of course, but he kept trying to ask more and more details about it. Kept going till I was 18, and that's when I said, enough. But he went apeshit and told me to kill myself. How low of a person do you gotta be? But yeah, that's mainly my experience. I can answer any questions as much as I can for you. And then he's saying I can tag him and I can, giving me his permission to post this. So now we're just gonna watch the video that Neon Wolf had created for Barracks all those years ago, and it's gonna give us like a little look into the timeline here into when all of this happened. So let's watch this. So that video kind of shows about what their relationship was like. I suppose maybe it was like a mentor type of thing, but that just proves at the time that they were talking. And let's say Neon is about 20 right now, and Barracks is 25. So if that video was made 5 years ago, around 5 years ago, you can do the math. He was around 16 to 17 at the time of this video being made, and Barracks was around 21 to 22. When it was sent over to me, you could see the date on the video, and here's the actual date of the video when it was made, which is December 18th, 2021. And if we can take a few things away from this, is they had a relationship at the time, because you wouldn't just be posting about this if you met somebody on the first day and you're already posting TikToks about them. So they've had an established relationship for a while, to the point where they were comfortable enough to be posting each other on their social medias. And the timeline does check out with the dates here. And of course, I'm not just going to believe everything that's told to me. So I did a lot of background research, and it checks out. They have the same interests. This guy is a legit furry, and so is Barracks. So they're in the same community. They're around the same people. So this is a very plausible thing that is happening here. So the messages that you're seeing on screen now are from one of my various decoy accounts that I use to interact with Barracks and be around his inner circle. And you can see me here asking him if he knows who Neon Wolf is, if he's aware of this guy's presence, and if they have some sort of connection together. And here he is, he's confirming it, he's saying yes, he knows who Neon Wolf is, so the stories are lining up. He knows who Neon Wolf is, Neon Wolf knows who he is, he knows who his ex-boyfriends are, and he knows the people in his circle. So this is checking out, this is true. And another thing to note is before this account got blocked by Barracks is he never truly gave me an explanation as to why. I asked him like, why aren't you guys friends anymore? Why don't you guys communicate anymore? And I never got an answer out of him. He never told me, he never wanted to disclose it, so I think it's obvious that something bad happened. Which from Neon Wolf's testimony, that does check out, and I can see why Barracks is hesitant to say anything about it, and he's probably surprised that I even know who that is. But we even have a little bit of like a testimony from Mark Rate himself, the GOAT, saying, I dated him too. When I dated him, he started to be toxic to me, and that's when I broke up with him, which is starting to sound like the story that everybody's telling about this guy. He's being toxic to them, he's freaking out, he's having these... Because we've seen how he acts on live when he gets angry. We've seen him freak out, we've seen him yell, we've seen him send death threats, so imagine what he's doing to these people behind closed doors. So now that we got that main section out of the way, I kind of want to go over his Roblox account, guys, because you're like 25-year-old man playing Roblox. I get it. People still play Roblox. I play some games sometimes, but very limited. But he seems to be spending a large amount of time on these social games. So let's read these out. Welcome to Club Galaxy, the first of a new generation of hangout place. And it's just like a hangout club for kids, or I guess adults, playing Roblox. I don't understand why you'd want to do that though. This one in specific is a little iffy. How do you get into VC? You must be 13 plus, go to your Roblox settings, and verify your email and phone number. So this is a community for, I guess, 13 and up, but he should be a part of like 18 and up, 20 and up if he's going to be playing these types of games, because we've seen his tendency in how he acts around people younger than him, so he should not be playing these games with these kids. Like I said, this is not solid proof of any wrongdoing, but it's strange. It's strange behavior. So let's read out some of the games that you'd commonly find him playing. Fantasia, RH Dance Studio, which those seem like, not to generalize, but that seems like a game for like a little girl. Like a young girl would be playing those types of games. Especially these ones here. Let's see. My Little Pony Princess Tycoon, that's definitely a kid's game. And then we got the more graphic ones here with Kill NPCs with Euphoria and Blood. Escape the Butcher Shop Obby, which that's not too bad. But this one here, Blood Overhaul, and it's just a guy's head exploding. Like, what is this? Like, what are you playing? And then we have Angel's Photoshop Room and Pacific Gymnastics RP. Once again, not to generalize, these just seem like games for younger people, the younger demographic that's playing Roblox. And here's an interesting one that it personally caught my eye. Joining a game or a group or whatever called Girls Only. Why are you as a 25-year-old man joining a group that's girls only? Is it because you think being gay is like some sort of immunity to that? Like, oh, I'm not actually like a man. You know, I like boys too, so I'm like one of the girls. I'm like one of the girls. Is he using that as like kind of like a wedge to get into that community and to get close with those people and spend time with those people? I'm not sure. Not 100% sure, but it is very suspicious just looking at this. And I just wanted to reinstate that there's no problem playing Roblox when you're an older person. Like, that's not the issue here. It's just some of the communities that he's in and some of the games that he's interacting with and the certain type of people that could be on those games, aka younger kids playing the type of games that he would play. And we've seen in my previous video before how easily he gets aggravated, and I have a video of him screaming at a little kid on Roblox and getting angry and provoking him. And he seems to have issues with younger people, or quote minors, as he says. He's always saying that these minors are trolling him, minors are messing with him, minors are coming on his live and turning his world upside down. And the reason why he exposed himself on that live stream once again, just whipped it out, was because of younger people, minors, were messing with him and he wanted to scare them away. So just imagine what he's doing if he's getting irritated in these games by a younger person. Is he going to expose himself to them too? It's just a dangerous pipeline that you're going down if you have a lack of self-control and a history of talking to younger people and exposing yourself, I don't believe that you should be allowed onto a children's game to potentially do it again. So now I'm going to show you guys a video that kind of specifically highlights his arrogance and his uncaring attitude about this whole situation. You know, he doesn't have remorse at all. So I'm going to have to mute the audio of this video, but it's like a song playing in the background, and it's like, just give it up. I win, you lose, ha ha ha. And it's like supposed to be this triumphant, laughing thing. So let's just watch this video. Let's watch him jiggle around for a little bit. That was that. That was that. He was very full of himself in that video, and we can see the description here. No, I don't even know why the trolls bother at this point. Like, give it up. It's me. I win. Haha. You lose. Whatever. And the trolls being us. Realistically, the trolls being us exposing him for talking to children and abusing children. That's us being trolls. That's us trolling him. Is us calling him out and keeping him accountable for all the shit that he's done. So now I want to move into the actual live stream. Once again, I do apologize. My emotions got the better of me, and once I heard that he was doing this to these kids, I went out and I exposed him on his live stream. So let's watch that.
What's your views on that? Like, how low would you go?
I mean, I mostly date mostly if they're 18, basically. But basically, I don't really go with 18 anymore. So I mostly just go with someone that's like in their like 20s or 30s.
Right, like no, like 17. That's too young.
No, that's
way
too
too
young.
Way
And
too
that's
young.
yeah.
And that's considered to be a pedophile right there.
Yeah. And Ricky, thanks so much for not lying to me about stuff, because I was really concerned about when I first met you. I originally thought you were a troll. Thank God
Right.
you're not.
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm a really genuine guy, so you didn't gotta worry about that with me.
Yeah.
By the way, I like that shirt.
Oh, thank you. I actually got it from Shein. I buy. Let me guess. I'm more of a muscle hunk.
Ooh,
Hair.
stop it! You give me the dad vibes.
Yeah. I'm more of a dad bear. I mostly identify as a werewolf tiger dragon hybrid. That's mostly what I identify as. Yeah, pretty much my alpha / boyfriend Mark ended up ditching me because of his fucked up friends. Technically,
Yeah.
it's a case in point. I broke up with him back in 2022 because here's how it was. I'll explain, mostly reenact it. I'll be like, Mark, I cannot date you anymore. He was like, Mark, I know it's hard for both of us, but I can't stand you constantly pretending to care for me. I'm sorry. I'm like, and then he tried doing the same thing. Like, maybe we're just not right for each other. I'm like, I can make up our minds. So I was like, and he pulled the Band-Aid off and just end it.
All right, Barracks, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Okay, I need you to take a seat, and I need you to prop your camera up.
Okay.
Because this is what I'm going to say is about to knock you off your feet. You're going to be so excited.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Ready.
So, you've actually been talking to me, Pib Patrol, this entire time, bro. You got fucking trolled. You actual dumb. It's me, Pib, bro. You're such an idiot. You fell for it again, bro. You're so stupid. You have anything to say, bro? I heard about Neon Wolf. I heard about how you groomed Neon Wolf when he was just like 16 to 17.
No, I don't. You fucking retard.
You groomed him.
Sorry about that.
Block him.
I will. That bitch really does not know what he's messing with.
Okay, well, that was something. That was definitely an event that happened. In the very beginning of the live, you can hear me trying to gauge his reaction when I'm talking about younger people. I'm like, how low would you go? Like, what's your certain age? And he's like, 18. Now I'm like 20 and above, but 17 is way too low. It's just way too low. We know from today that it's actually not too low for his standards, as he's done it before. So I continued to act cordial with him and act a little bit friendly with him, like I was some new character in his story. Then I was asking him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna need you to sit down for this. I'm about to give you a surprise. It's gonna be so awesome. It's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna give you like a nice surprise. So he sits down and I guess he's excited. He's anticipating something. And then I reveal that it's me. It's me, Pib Patrol. I know what you did. I know who you did it to. I know everything. Like, the jig is up. You're fucking done. You're a predator. We know you're a predator. And he's getting mad and he's screaming and he's retaliating. And his friend does nothing. His friend doesn't question him. His friend isn't like, why could they possibly be saying this? Like, what's going on here? His friend doesn't do anything, which is quite frankly, it's a little bit sad in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's not the most professional thing that I could have done, but Neon Wolf, if you're watching this, you know, that was for you. That was, in this whole video, this video is for you too, kind of as a get back to Barracks for what he did. So, I wish you the best, and I hope you're doing well. And I mean, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I hope you're feeling better from all of this. It was quite some time ago, but it can be quite fresh in the memory. But yeah, that's that. I called him out on live stream. I exposed him. I cursed him out. Called him a predator. He didn't have anything to say for himself, which is the Barracks that we know and love. That's how he is. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. It was a shorter one, obviously, and it wasn't as silly or as goofy or as funny as the other videos are. But I just kind of wanted to handle this situation with a little bit of tact. Even though you literally just saw me going off on him, but as tactful as a funny YouTuber can make a serious video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, have a good day. We know that he's been up to some crazy shit, so that's good for us. Goodbye.